Christian McCaffrey, he's been a little banged up the last few seasons, but he is a huge part of this offense and their productivity. So where do you think you rank him amongst the rest of the running backs in the league?
All right. So when Christian McCaffrey is healthy, he's one of the most electric players in the NFL. But he hasn't played more than 7 games since 2019.
Yep.
At this point in his career, we know how running backs, the shelf life of running backs in the NFL, no matter how talented you are. Todd Gurley was a fantastic running back in the NFL, but once those injuries started happening, it wasn't the same. I think it's very hard to look at Christian McCaffrey right now and say he's going to be the same electric offensive player of the year that we saw in 2017, 2018, 2019. But they need something out of him. I think he can still be productive. He's one of the best receiving backs in the NFL still, even with the injuries. But there's a lot of wear and tear on that body. He was a centerpiece of their offense. And I look at him, how like the Saints use Alvin Kamara. It was the exact same way, but with that role comes a lot of beating.
And we've seen it. Like you mentioned Todd Gurley. We've talked about Ezekiel Elliott here. The Giants are trying to figure out what they're going to do with Saquon Barkley. But like these cats, they signed their contracts, and then all of a sudden the production dips, the injuries start to pop up because these guys are taking hits constantly. You mentioned McCaffrey. He was involved in every single part of the game plan for the Panthers, whether it was running the football, whether it was catching the ball out of the backfield, and you're susceptible to hits. And this is what they're up against right now is they've got a potential out in his contract after this year. So if you're Christian McCaffrey, you have to go out there, number one, be healthy, but number two, you have to play well again because his salary would jump up from just over $1 million this year, just base salary, not counting how they prorated the signing bonus, up to almost $12 million next year. And so the Panthers are going to be evaluating everything he does with a fine-tooth comb because if they're going to make that investment into the future, they got to know he's going to be on the field.